Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode 317 for the week of July 18th, 2017. My name is Ryan Higgins. Who's here with me this week?
Brock Sigger.
And Charlie.
And also special guest,
Jim Jokisch.
Jim, aim that mic a little closer to your face.
How's that?
There you go. That's a little better. So, what a couple weeks. For those longtime listeners, or if you're local here, you'll know that we are moving the store that we record in. Yes,
Wait, we're moving.
We're moving.
Holy shit!
We've been putting in some
get some work done.
Yeah, we've been putting some extra long hours trying to get the prep work for the move done. Me and Brock are about to fall over, I think, at this point.
I'm fucking tired.
Yeah. So pardon us if we're maybe a little not as high energy in this. Well, no Bryce is here, so we'll never be as high energy as
I can replace
here.
Bryce. I think I do.
You do an okay job. You do an okay job.
Had to be here for the last podcast in the old store.
Yeah. Well, one more.
Oh, one more?
Fingers crossed. We're going to record next week.
You changed it up again.
No.
I thought okay.
No, next week is our final. Next Wednesday, so July 26th is our final day here at this location. So the plan is we're going to record both podcasts here next week. That said, if stuff comes up, maybe we're not. We busted our ass to get everything done today in time to record this podcast. So
I've been in the new location. It looks nice.
No, thank you. Thank you.
I told Brock I look forward to seeing it when it's done.
Yeah, well,
it's still got a lot of work, long way to go.
The front room is not done until the store's closed, so we're going to move everything over after we close.
Well, we're having the odyssey of the slat wall.
Well, it's not just that. I've ordered some of this stuff a month ago or more, and we're still waiting on some stuff to get delivered. So fingers crossed. I kind of can't delay very long on a lot of the stuff, so don't have a lot of it. We have some buffer time, but not much.
That's okay. It will be on some sort of display at opening day.
It'll be on the floor apparently. So
I'm waiting for the bar stools by the front table.
It's coming. It's coming.
Have you decided what life-size statue we're going to get for that corner?
I told him you need my Wolverine adamantium skeleton.
I think we're going to get a nice plant for that corner.
Plant?
Yeah.
Plant.
Oh, my God.
I'll say it's Swamp Thing. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
Or it's Groot.
No,
He's just growing.
Man Thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
So if you are local, we're having a big moving sale this week. I want to talk about this briefly at the beginning of the episode because we're going to have a ton of stuff on sale. I mean, everything in the store basically is going to be on sale Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're going to have some increasing discounts Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday as well, up to our final day, Wednesday, July 26th. So check out our newsletter or on Twitter or Facebook or something. We'll have all the info there. So if you're local, definitely come by. Help us carry a few less boxes to the new place. Pick up some good stuff. Help me get a little extra cash to pay my insane credit card bills and loan bills from the last few weeks.
We'll talk before I fly.
Boy.
We'll talk. There'll be some shipments.
See, I've been pretty good. I was terrible with credit card debt when I was a kid. You're an idiot. Turn 18, you max out every credit card you get. Like whatever, right? I mean, But that said, as a responsible adult, I've been very, very good. And even things like the store, I've kept the debt to
you dug
zero,
out.
basically.
You dug the store
to
out
zero
and kept it to zero. Yeah,
having significant debt for the first time in many, many years is like, but between the sale,
it's been like 6 years because I mean when I came back when I came in 10 years ago, that's when you just bought the store, and then I think about 4 years later is when you finally like. Well,
the store's debt is different than I mean I guess it's not different than my personal debt, but it is that's what I mean. Like this is stuff like there's a little difference between owing somebody to dime and owing like credit card companies and banks. Like that's different. But that said, we had that GoFundMe, or we still have that GoFundMe up right now, which is we're just shy about the halfway point on that, and it's it's one of those things where every penny of that helps. So if you got $5, you want to kick it to us to help with the relocation, moving, and fixtures cost, because we didn't get quite as much from the bank as I'd like. It would very much help. GoFundMe.com. Search for Comics Conspiracy. Or, buy your shit in your box, Jim. That helps, too. Did I say that? I didn't mean you specific. I just meant,
It's your imaginary friend, Jim.
Various people named Jim.
There are many people named Jim. One here.
Yeah, many people. Yeah. So,
well, are you going to offer anything for our listeners?
That's a nice shot.
If they call in and drop something, they can get the
You want to mail order some more stuff before the
shit.
So
doesn't matter.
I don't want to talk about this too much until it's more official. But there is actually a new point of sale system out there for comic book stores. We use Mobi, which is one a lot of stores use. There's actually a new one coming up that I'm going to look into after we get relocated at the new place. That actually allows for a full online database for online sales and e-commerce and it's built by another comic store, so it's built specifically for comic book stores. Not like something we'd...
Are you able to say which comic store built it?
It's a store in New Zealand. Okay. Comics Hub, I believe, is the name of the point-of-sale system. They have like a built-in app that goes with it for your smartphone, for subscription management and all that. So once the move's... It's funny because it's happening... This is being launched right as we're doing the move. So I'm like, I can't do both at the same time. No way in hell. So once we get into the new location, and assuming this thing works out, I know a lot of people have asked about doing some online purchases and things like that. I absolutely can. And when we do have a sale in the store, we can apply that to the online store as well. Live tracks, quantities and everything. So very easy to get that done. So hopefully, fingers crossed, look for that in a few months. Or, never if it doesn't work. I mean, it's an untested piece of software. I don't want to go with something if it's not going to work, right?
Oh, so, yeah, absolutely.
We'll wait.
Yeah.
I'm going to...
It's an evolution to transfer everything over to that new system, too. So
yeah, they take the database we have and they merge everything in. It's very, not to say easy, but it's very straightforward for them. But it is a matter of making sure it works with what we need.
I do software upgrades on a regular basis. I know how smooth they go. So.
Yeah, not always. Yeah.
You don't want that headache whenever you're moving.
Yeah.
All right.
No, he's getting plenty of headaches with them.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So we got 1 week left. Hopefully, there should be an episode next week. And if there isn't, well, sorry. We'll see you in 2 weeks after we move.
We'll see you in 2 weeks when the power's back on.
Yeah, there's definitely not going to be an episode the week after. Although Toby and Bryce said they want to do a 0.5. We'll see if they actually get it done. But a couple other things podcast related before we get into the news stuff. I didn't take Bryce briefly recording from last week. So Patreon people, that's going up tonight. Mm-hmm. Patreon people also going up tonight. Toby and Charlie recorded a very special Doctor Who themed roundup special thing.
I was curious if Toby got that to you already.
He did. It's sitting over there. He right before he got on the plane to San Diego, he dropped it off with me. So that's going up tonight. I have another episode of the roundup that they did a while back. That's going up tonight.
Wow. My
plan is to get all of these up tonight for, hey, if you're on a Comic-Con, it's like 6 hours of stuff to listen to.
And that's why you put it off so long, right?
Yes.
Just the perfect
for Comic-Con. For Comic-Con.
For your traveling purposes.
Yeah. The Bryce Larson quotes shirt is still going on. Yes, I believe that still has... did that just end?
21st. So
okay. A couple days left. I know a bunch of people got them.
Bryce is right.
They got the variant.
No, Leanne got hers. She got the regular one. So people are getting the regular shirts. So if you ordered the Bryce shirt, that's up there. Now,
I've seen a few pictures online.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm wearing a Bryce is right shirt because I know he's not right.
Jim, would you wear a Comics Conspiracy shirt?
I would if you had some.
Well, what do you know? What do you know is coming next Monday?
Fucking finally! Jesus, how many years have I been telling you to do this shit?
Okay, all right. Just for the background here, Brock has been badgering poor Ryan for a decade.
He is not poor Ryan.
In order to get Comics Conspiracy t-shirts. Now, they've had a couple variations for the podcast and stuff, and those come out. But there has been no official Comics Conspiracy t-shirt for a long time.
Doug had them back when they opened the store.
Ken had a couple. Ken had a couple, too.
I don't think...
He had one that I made for him for sure.
Yeah.
So, there's nothing like official, no official printing. No. So for Brock to finally talk Ryan into get the Comic Conspiracy T-shirts, this is.
Let's just put it this way: I started here 10 years ago. That's basically
I said a decade.
So those are coming with the store move as well. So we'll have T-shirts available. And
with
of course,
logo.
We will make those available online as well.
And are you going to make the podcast shirts available too?
I haven't. I mean, we can do like a podcast version as well. This is the store one. Right. Comics Conspiracy, Sunnyvale, California.
Dude, you need to do the podcast because those characters were freaking awesome.
Oh, the Lane one, maybe. Yeah. I'll talk to Lane about some.
You can get it in black. You'll be able to get it in black, gray, and red.
Black, gray, and red. So there you go.
I still think you should also talk to Lane about bringing in prints of that to sell.
Yeah.
Just have a little podcast area at the store with like T-shirts and prints. And
well, we could maybe. So that's going to.
Oh, you could have the prints and have the podcast team just sign them.
You could do that.
And then you have my broken caricature up there too, with the bent shelf and everything that he drew.
I saw that. So those will be up on our site, even if we don't have the new point of sale system. So all sorts of random garbage. And come visit us at our new location at 913 West El Camino Real in Sunnyvale, California. I know we've had a few listeners stopping recently, so thank everyone for coming by and checking out this piece of garbage location before it burns to the ground.
Hey, today you said, why are we moving? Why are we moving? In the tone of, I don't want to do this anymore.
Oh, And
then I had to say, look outside, and you're like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's funny, one of the other tenants in this complex came to me today, and she was like, what is going on? I talked to the owner. She said nothing's happening. And I'm like, yeah, okay, well, you can believe that if you want. This place is not going to be here in 6 months. It's just not. Surveyors are out there. They're going to tear this stuff down. Or
the amount of tenants that have changed places in this complex in the last 17 years that I've been in this area has just been crazy. The amount of exchange of personnel.
As of right now, the only people there, we are the oldest. Yeah, we are the oldest currently existing store. Because I know.
What about Thai?
They were a breakfast restaurant.
They were a Peter Pan
remember they were Peter Pan before.
Wow.
Yeah, when he was here. So as far as I know, we've been here the longest. The liquor store obviously was here longer.
Right.
But they're gone. They're gone now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
no more liquor directly.
But even that, if you go back 5 years ago, most of these places weren't what they are now.
Yeah.
So it's not for the better.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. Anyway,
and from what you've said, a lot of places are moving out in like the next 6 months, kind of thing. So
at least two more of the units in this complex are going before the end of the year. So, and that's one of the other big ones. There's not many left. The Thai restaurant's the last big unit here, and they're not on a lease. And if you're a restaurant and you're not on a lease, I don't see how you stick around.
So before the complex disappears,
yes,
we're going to disappear and reappear at the new location. What is it again, Ryan?
913 West El Camino Real, Sunnyvale, California.
For those of you that don't know Spanish, that's the King's Road.
Not El Camino Real. Like I get that sometimes. That's an interesting. I mean, it looks like real, REAL. So let's get to some news. It is. Well, here we go. It is sales estimate. My favorite time of the month, June 2017. Brock, don't peek.
I'm not fucking peeking. I can't see shit.
I see you peeking. So there's actually some interesting stuff this month. I'll be curious. I do want to talk a little bit about this. I had some tweets about this earlier in the week. But can you guys try to guess the top 10 books for June 2017?
Should we just start with Batman?
You could start with Batman. Dark Days of the Forge, the one shot, was the number 2 comic at 130,000 copies. Batman number 24 is the number 4 book at 116,000 copies. Batman 25.
Does the 24 count any reprints or anything?
Shouldn't. Yeah. 25 was the number 6 book at 102,000 copies. Oh, and that's it. That's all the Batmans. Oh, and Dark Knight 3, number 9. Sorry, at 103,000 copies. Number 5. So Batman 2, 4, 5, 6.
Does that add in the slipcase option also?
Lotto Batmans. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Those weren't.
Those are considered graphic novels.
Oh, okay. All right. Flash.
No, Flash is. I mean, Flash does good, but yeah, it's all
Secret Empire.
Top 20. Secret Empire, yes, number 4 at 91,000, and number 5 at 87,000 copies.
Wow.
Wait, I thought we already had 4 and 5.
Nope. I mean, that was June. We had 1, 2, and 3 last month.
Walking Dead still on there?
That's the number 8 and 9 book, by the way, for Secret Empire. And let me just say, man, Secret Empire number 5 at 87,000 copies.
That's fucking
for their big event book.
That's nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Walking Dead just barely scrapes the top 10. Number 168 is the 82,970 copies, the number 10 spot. So we're missing number 1, number 3, and number 7. Vader, number 1 at 118,000 copies. Number 2 is 66,000 copies.
I think he cheated.
Number 12.
I think he cheated too.
So, number Number 2 is about half as many copies as number 1.
So we're missing one book?
Which is okay. You're missing number 7 and... Yep. No, number 1 and number 7. You're still missing number 1.
Wow.
Vader didn't even hit number 1.
Nope.
Wow.
Vader's number 3. Both of these number 1s. Both of these from Marvel. Both of these related characters. Somewhat related characters. They are two characters from the same... No.
Where did Cable fall on the list?
Good try, Charlie.
I don't care. I just want to know where he fell on the list at this point.
Cable number 2, 31,000 copies, the 74th comic of the month. Wah, 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 wah.
Not too bad in terms of number of copies, though.
Peter Parker, number 1 at 224,000 copies. This is the number 1 comic of the month. So far, the number 1 comic of the year. What? And also is part of Marvel's Loot Crate. So who fucking knows actually how many copies that sold? So...
Wait, it's part of the Loot Crate?
We're back to this bullshit again. Yes. Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man.
It's part of this month's Loot Crate, then.
It's not the Loot Crate. It's the Marvel Collector Corps thing.
The Collector Corps,
right?
Yeah.
So we don't know how many copies the Collector Corps has, but clearly Marvel did not sell 224,000 copies of Peter Parker to stores. It's right next to Spider-Man. It's in the S section, but in 2 weeks, it'll be in the P section.
Yeah, it's a P.
For a piece of shit.
I did not read it yet. I haven't read anything in a few weeks.
It's not so bad.
Busy.
It's just, it's very heavy. Like, it's...
Chip Zdarsky. Yeah, I love Chip Zdarsky.
It's a heavy read, though. Yeah.
So we're missing number 7?
You missing number 7, yes. Number 1 comic.
Oh, Jesus.
It is somewhat related to Spider-Man.
It's not Spider-Man 2.
Gwenpool.
No.
I mean...
Edge of the Venomverse.
Edge of Venomverse, number 1 at 98,000 copies.
Wow. And you got 2 copies on the shelf.
Yeah, I mean, that sold really, really well. You know, I went pretty big on number 1. I wasn't sure, we sold about 20% of number, 25% of number 2s. But I mean, that's to be expected. A lot of people check out the number 1s. Not too many people check the number 2. But, again, sales were expected for that.
Wow.
So, yeah. So there's a bunch of stuff. A bunch of weird numbers came out. We're pretty down from the past year, but especially because of June 2016 was Civil War and Rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And 5 weeks, which tends to also have more comics. So comparing June 2017 and June 2016 is just not the same.
Wait till next week. I want to hear next week. I want to hear next month's numbers due to the Jim Lee artwork on the Marvel books.
Well, I'll tell you this: Gwenpool's going to have his numbers like quadrupled because of that fucking
but I don't think it's going to
White Queen cover.
I don't think it's going to push them into the top 10 though.
No.
All of those books are going to sell way better than
normal. Yeah.
Pushing to the top 10 would be a little tough.
Well, I mean, okay.
You could be...
Considering I ordered...
How many sets did you order?
Well, okay, take a book like Gwenpool. My normal cover order versus how many I ordered of the Jim Lee covers is like 20,000% higher or something like that. It's a ridiculous amount more. Like a ridiculous amount more.
White Queen,
right?
Jim
Of course. That's why.
Yeah, but I guess my thing about the whole idea of will it push into the top 10, while it will improve the sales of all those books, they might go from 20,000 copies to 40,000 copies.
Again, a lot of stores won't qualify. A lot of stores won't order them. We ordered a shitload, but whatever. Artgerm's doing variant covers for Supergirl. So my orders of Supergirl went from 10 to 30, right? Because I'm like, fuck, Artgerm variant covers, that'll just be on the shelf forever.
Exactly.
So, yeah. There was an interesting... Comic-Con released their big 2016 chart with ICV2. There's a big end-of-year report, and I had a bunch of tweets about it. This is for the entire year. Comic book stores brought in $570 million. The book channel brought in $405. Digital downloads $50 million. Newsstand $20 million.
How much did digital do?
$90 million, which is flat from last year.
Okay.
Yeah. Graphic novels represent $590 million worth of sales. Comic books are $405 million worth of sales. Now, the thing that people completely mistake about these numbers, right, is graphic novels only selling 550 million is actually really poor compared to comic books selling 405 million. While, yes, the dollar amount is higher, the unit number is a fraction.
Yeah.
Way more single-issue comic books are being sold than graphic novels. People have looked at these numbers and said, oh, this is proof that graphic novels are the future and single issues are dead and Wednesdays are dead. It's like it's the exact opposite. Graphic novels sell very well when it's the right graphic novel. If you look at the book scan charts, Brian Hibbs on Now It's Comics Beat puts out all the book scan numbers. So he gets the numbers from Amazon, and it's like ends up being 60 to 70% of book sales, right? The top 5 are in the millions, and by the number 12 book, it's down to 10,000. And once you get down a little bit further, it's just a couple thousand copies. There's a huge curve that comes out of the top 10, and so Squirrel Girl was being thrown around again as being oh, this is a book that sells so much better in graphic novel form than comic book form. It actually sells exactly the same in graphic novel form. In 2016, the first copy through BookScan sold about 8,000 units. That's the first volume, I mean. The first volume sold about 8,000 units. You add in comic book stores, and it's going to be a little bit more. The book sells about 9,000, 10,000 units through Diamond. It's the same number, right? Yeah. So it's not like it's some thing that's selling hundreds of thousands of copies. Now, possibly through book fairs, possibly through some other outlets that is selling more. We don't have those numbers, so we can't really go off those. Nobody knows those numbers. Marvel has come out and said some of these books do traditionally do better there, but if they're not talking specifics, we can't judge. We only have the numbers we're provided. So, graphic novels selling that much is awesome, but wake me when it's 4 times that, because that means it's selling in equivalent units to comic books.
Charlie and I are doing all we can to help with the graphic novel sales. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, that's the thing, right? There's no $100 comic books that are coming from Diamond. There's these omnibuses that are $125. They totally skew these numbers way far out, right? I think the Walking Dead omnibuses or compendiums.
Yeah,
they're usually.
I still need the volume 6 of that.
I want to say the
compendiums.
The compendium. Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking about the slipcase.
He's just thinking what he needs.
A year or two ago, those sold crazy amounts, and they were some of the top dollar amount books. But obviously, the
Amazon
units,
had it for Christmas for $20.
Yeah, really cheap. So comics, single issue comics were flat from 2015 to 2016. That's because of Hastings, and that's because of Marvel. That's where those numbers are. Marvel, I have to go back and look at his numbers on Comic-Con. The quote was, Marvel represented 94% of the drop. So basically,
they took
94% of the flat number came from Marvel. Everyone else rose. 94% of the drop came from Marvel to basically even it out, which is fucking insane.
Yeah,
that they've dropped that dramatically.
When I get into I can't believe I do this, but when I get into freaking arguments with people about Marvel and how I'm as much as I want to love them, I can't, jump. I've tried to jump on board and I can't, and they've lost a lot of their readers, and they try and put the numbers on them. They just cannot believe the numbers that have dropped so badly from Marvel for the last year. Well, hell, for longer than that. But we'll just talk about the last year. I can see it. I can see that Marvel has lost freaking that much in the last freaking year. It's horrible.
I do find it really kind of interesting, especially when it comes to sort of trade sales. Like, when I first started working in shops, I would sort of classify certain books like, yeah, Fables does okay in single issue, but the trades were selling amazing at the time. I don't see that very much anymore. Like, there aren't very many books that I kind of feel like the bulk of people read it in trade. I mean, there's a couple, but...
Bulk? No. Yeah. But what happens is, for us, the best-selling independent books sell the best in trade. Saga, Walking Dead, those are best-selling independents. They are the best-selling trades, right? Yeah. The best-selling DC characters sell the best in trades. Batman outsells everything else combined, right? And it's our best-selling single issues. There is not really some
but I would say the percent of people buying the Batman trades compared to the single issue? Like,
it's a fraction.
It's sort of like the Walking Dead single issue to the number of Walking Dead trades, I think, are a lot closer.
Yeah. Walking Dead, we sell more singles than the trades. But again, you look at that curve from the number 1 to now. Yeah. Saga is a little more even. Saga, single issues, and graphic novels are basically the same. We sell about the same amount. But if you look at number 1 versus current, number 1's way high, and then there's that big curve down.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we sell 100 copies, nearly 200 copies of Batman because there's 2 a month, but 100 copies of Batman in an issue, and we'll sell 10, 12 copies of the trade, which is, but of course, across 400 Batman trades, that's a ton of fucking books that sell.
Well, not to mention that the DC's new way of doing things is releasing the trade first and then doing the oversized hardcover.
Well, I mean, they always would trickle out oversized hardcovers. They didn't do it that often. Now they
have a schedule,
which is nice.
Well, the thing is like a lot of people, like I'm waiting to get the hardcover one because I don't want the soft covers. I want the nice hardcover.
Yeah.
So we haven't even seen those numbers yet because those might be higher than the trade numbers.
Well, not a lot of people have the discipline that you and I and Charlie have, waiting for the hardcover to come out. You know, they want that fix. They need that weekly fix of their comics.
It's possible the hardcover will chart higher on the dollar.
Could be
measurement, but not on the unit. I would be hard pressed to think that would sell more.
I'm also curious to see what they do long term with this strategy, if they will keep the hardbacks in print long term, or if the hardbacks will
they
become the thing that's around for a limited time.
They did do good with Rebirth. A lot of them they followed through and finished with the ones that they did. So New 52. So hopefully they keep going with that.
Yeah.
But they didn't do very many of the New 52.
No,
like they did the Manipul, Flash. They did the Green Arrow. They did the Scott Snyder Swamp Thing, I think. Was one of them.
You're talking about?
Yeah.
He's talking about the deluxe ones.
Yeah. Like they only did 3 or 4 for like everything they existed.
No, I was saying like for like Earth 2, they kept doing. They did the hardcovers and kept doing them. They didn't stop.
Well, but they weren't the oversized hardcovers. They were the smaller hardcovers. I'm just saying that so a lot of times what happens is like those premier size hardcovers come out, then the trade comes out, but the premier size no longer goes back to print. Like the trades stick around.
Some of the premieres went back to print. Oh, for Marvel or DC? Sorry,
I'm talking about DC in the sort of like smaller hardcover.
They reprinted many of the volume 1s. They kept a lot of like Batman. Most of those, if not all of them, are still around. A lot of the volume 1s are still around, but yes, most of them go out of print.
Yeah.
So, what were the total numbers?
Well, here's one of the bad things about this month.
Besides the Marvel crate,
and I didn't realize this. They actually do put the collector's edition of Dark Knight in the comic charts.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
It's only because of the slipcase. Everybody wanted it.
Yeah, but it's a different price, so it wouldn't.
Even if you remove that from the sales charts, the average price of a comic for the very first time is over $4. It's $4.03 average price for a comic as of June 2017.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Take out the Dark Knight, and it brings it on to $4.01. But still over $4. That means the amount of $4.99 comics for Marvel in the indies, we're seeing more and more of them. Yep. DC had they've had some of their specials, and they had the Looney Tunes stuff. Those are $4.99. Those $4.99. But at times there are times when that makes sense, right? But
weekly, yeah,
it's got to be the right book, right? Yeah. It has to be the right book to be $4.99. We're seeing more and more Marvel number 1s. I don't know what the pricing is going to be. They're doing lenticular covers for Marvel for all the legacy stuff.
Oh yeah,
but those aren't open order.
Well, but I think they're going to be easy enough to hit. And those are going to be $4.99 probably. They're going to be $1 more.
At least. Yeah.
I counted. So the solicitations went up for October before we started recording. Marvel has 222 covers in the month of October.
What?
And that's only like half their Rebirth or half their Legacy. Like maybe like a third of their Legacy. It's not even everything at one time. It's just they're just limping out some of it and the rest come later. So look for that $4 price point to probably be shattered as of September, October, November, because Legacy's...
they've lost their ass this year. They got to make it up somehow.
Legacy's $5.99. Again, it doesn't... cost the equivalent of $5.99. We will not be selling it at $5.99, but the cover price of Legacy is $5.99.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
Stupid.
So
Stupid, but people are still going to jump on it.
if you've got money,
Yeah.
I hope. I really hope. Marvel hopes. So what are we looking at here? Let's talk overall share. This includes reorders and everything. Marvel's 42.82%, DC's 31.76%, Image's 9%. That's units sold. IDW's 3.18, Dark Horse's 2.47. Just go for that top 300 though. Marvel has 99 comics in the top 300. DC has 82. Image has 40. IDW has 22. Dark Horse has 13. Dynamite has 12. And down the list you go. Units in the top 300, that's always the one I like to look at. Marvel is 46.3%, so 46.3% of all comics in stores shipped. Well, for the most part. It was Marvel. DC's 35.38, Image is 8.36. Still a little bit lower than their total, so I wonder what else they shipped. IDW's 2.33, Dark Horse is 1.76. Lots of big stuff. Big month for a lot of people. Marvel, 39 graphic novels released, DC with 36, Viz with 22. They always put out a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff for comic books. Big month.
But that's also because Viz doesn't have anything that's really not counted graphic novel. Right?
Yeah, it's all graphic novels. Yeah. A couple little things to talk about then, which will lead into kind of, I think, one of the bigger stories. We don't have to go on about this particular topic for too long, but I'm very excited for this. Flash Season 4 TV show. It's adding a potentially new ongoing character to the show. It's someone that's been talked about a few times. And that is Mr. Ralph Dibny, the Elongated Man.
Yes.
Coming to Flash. Yes.
What?
My favorite.
Sue's coming up soon.
I hope
Plastic.
so.
They need to have Plastic Man in there.
I mean, I'm okay with that too, but no, Elongated Man and Flash have a long history together. Very excited to see them coming up.
Long history.
Yeah, they're both. Well, Elongated Man is a detective. So.
They have an elongated
Yeah,
history
I'm
together.
actually just... That could be really interesting.
Yeah, if Ralph Dibny joins the police force,
I'm not even thinking about having him join the police force, but
have all the money on the special
private
effects.
detective
That
running
too.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to blow all their money on the special effects.
I'm just curious if they're going to bring Identity Crisis into the Flash universe.
They've been really smart about their effects usage. I'm not worried about them. If they can do Supergirl, they can afford to do.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
I look forward to seeing Elongated Man in the freaking
Hell yeah.
Flash universe. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But I like to see some cameos from other characters as well.
Well, Flash got so heavy-handed, I feel, the last season. I want to see a little return to light. And Elongated Man's a perfect character to do that with. So, very, very much hoping.
Plastic Man would have been better.
But the Plastic Man's a bit too much, I think. Elongated Man's a little more normal. Little more normal.
Yeah, a little. Okay. All right. Moving on.
So we have a couple topics to talk about from D23, Disney's big convention they have down in Anaheim every 2 years. We'll get to the Avengers stuff in a second, but the first thing I wanted to talk about was, you guys know I'm a big fan of Disneyland, and although with the store move and everything, I will not be going for quite some time now, but I'm very excited to go back as soon as all this stuff comes up, because at California Adventure, which is the second park, they've officially announced that joining the Guardians of the Galaxy at Mission Breakout, which is the Tower of Terror drop ride they have there, which is now Guardians of the Galaxy themed, there is going to be... they will be joined by Spider-Man and the Avengers and what will become a completely immersive superhero universe at the park. So the rumor for a long time is there's a big section that's kind of like an old-school Hollywood area at Disneyland. Yeah. They have a Monsters, Inc. ride. They have a big... they have a bunch of... they had the Muppets performance there before. That's now like they show movies, like it's trailers and previews.
Corner with the Alice in Wonderland, like...
Yeah, the Tea Party.
Tea Party stuff.
That's gone. Yeah, that's all gone now. The rumor for a long time has been that they're going to turn that all into Marvel stuff. And this seems very likely, because right next to that is the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. So it makes sense that right there and over, they're going to put up one or two big e-ticket rides plus some character meet and greets.
That allows them to free up the space that's been taken up in Tomorrowland for more...
Oh, they're all gone. All the Tomorrowland. None of the Marvel stuff's in Tomorrowland anymore. Yeah. So, more what they announced here was that, obviously they're really breaking up the parks, which I think is perfect the way they're doing it. Is Disneyland is going to be Disney and Star Wars. California Adventure is going to be Pixar and Marvel because all the Pier stuff is all turning into Pixar-themed attractions and rides and restaurants and whatever. So they are. It seems like there will be no Star Wars and no Disney. I mean, they have Little Mermaid, but I don't know. Maybe they'll move that. That's all going to be in one park, and then Marvel and Pixar is in California Adventure. So I don't know what they're going to do, but very excited. I can't go in the Guardians of the Galaxy ride because I'll vomit. You're
excited.
But yeah, they brought in like there's a Black Widow character that'll come out, and she's on, like she had to have on like a shield troop transport. She comes out and yells at people and takes pictures of them, and I'd love to see more. They've always like Captain America and Spider-Man there for a few years now, so I'd love to see more of the characters.
Thor too.
Yeah, and I did Thor when he was at the other place. That was one of the best meet and greets.
Nice.
I think
they've
they
done
did
some of the Guardian meet and greets now, right?
So they have Groot there. They have a dance off with Star-Lord and Gamora where they come out and dance with it's for like the kids and stuff, right? But they'll come out and they have their boombox.
So it's for you.
Well, they'll never choose me.
We've never seen that video, but we know it exists.
Dude, the guys that looks like Gamora looks good. The guy they have playing Star-Lord in all the pictures I've seen, he does not look like Star-Lord. He doesn't have to look like
Star-Lord doesn't look like the first Star-Lord.
I was just going to say makeup helps to a degree.
This dude's out there sweating in full leather in 110-degree heat in the middle of the day. But, I understand, but the guy doesn't look the part. Let me just put it that way.
I got you.
I've seen a few of the characters there where I'm like, oh, that person looks exactly like the character they're supposed to be. This guy was like, this guy does not come off as Star-Lord to me in the least. Whereas Black Widow and Gamora and a few of the other face characters, they do.
They can sell it, right?
Yeah, they totally do. And the guy that does Cap and the guy that did Thor was fucking incredible. So they have people that can do this stuff. I have it. I have it. Yeah, I have it somewhere. So really excited to see what they're going to do with this.
So, more from D23?
But of course, the big news from D23 on this podcast, at least, is all the talk about the Avengers movie. And God, I wish
it's
Bryce
not the Avengers, it's Infinity War.
I wish Bryce was here just so he could be... Oh, he's not even going to listen to this, so he's never going to hear it. Because he doesn't watch trailers, and he put a message in our thread, said he won't listen to this episode because he doesn't want to hear this. So, Bryce, you could stop listening now if you're listening. But he'll never hear any of this, so it doesn't matter. So it's not Thanos. Thanos is in Infinity War, but it's not just Thanos. They're bringing in the fucking... Oh, God, I can't even believe it. They're bringing in the fucking Black Order.
Yeah, this is characters that really showed up in Infinity.
This guys?
This is all the guys. This is all of Hickman's...
Oh, Jesus.
9th tier... Z-list,
like the black, like these assassin creatures with no faces.
I don't care about these characters at all. Where is any classic Thanos, associate they could have brought in? I don't even know.
Thanos traditionally doesn't need an entourage.
Need them, yeah.
If Thanos has an entourage, he doesn't have it for long.
Yeah.
He usually ends up killing him.
Sure.
Actually,
in the
book, Nebula was his granddaughter, and as soon as he found out she was his granddaughter, he fried her.
Yeah,
and then he brought her back as a floating corpse for a while. So just to entertain Mistress Death. So you don't want to be part of Thanos' entourage.
Yeah. So it's Corvus Glaive, Proxima Midnight, Ebony Maw, and Black Dwarf.
They're cannon fodder. They're all easily killed. So that's why.
But that doesn't... So given the scope of what I expect for the first movie, I'm guessing Thanos is going to be launching attacks all over the place almost simultaneously. So having a group to send here, and
a set of generals.
Yeah.
I
think we'll be fine. And I could totally see him once he gets the gauntlet together in the end. Just
poof.
Yeah.
The trailer sounded awesome just from reading the descriptions. It sounds
Nobody's leaked it. I haven't seen the trailer.
No. It hasn't been leaked.
I saw the group get together with Kevin Feige and everything. Yeah. But they cut away for the trailer, and then they showed it when they came back and did, I would have loved to seen that footage, but man.
Yeah, at this point, I refuse to read the description just because
it's the Avengers teaming up. That's all. They don't. There's no plot to it. It's just some cool shots.
The reason I refuse to read the description is I'm just like, if everybody's going to be talking about what they saw in a trailer, they might as well just put out the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm sure they will. I'm sure it'll leak after Comic-Con or something. But they don't tend to release them normally, so if it leaks, maybe they'll put it up. But I don't, like, I'm sure the movie's going to be good. I'm sure I'll love it. I'm sure it'll be fine. But fucking, I didn't like these characters in Infinity. I didn't like him in Hickman's Avengers run. I don't like him in this. And I swear to fucking Christ, if Thane shows up, I might be out. I hate Thane. Hate Thane.
First of all.
Thanos is a stupid kid. His name is Thane. It's like the worst name. I hate this character. I don't ever want this character. I don't like Thane.
All right, first of all, you'll never be out. Second of all right, Thane, I seriously doubt they're going to bring Thane in.
To bring in these people, they work with Thane.
Yeah, but they're not bringing in Mistress Death. They're using Hela as Mistress Death.
They were.
So they
weren't working with Thane.
Don't these guys team up with Thane in Infinity?
No.
Was Thane working with them?
No. They were hunting Thane.
Yeah, but then they all get together. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Thane. We've all read Infinity.
Dumbass
We've all read Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War.
Yeah, right? How about we base a movie off those instead?
Who's Thane's mother?
Yeah, but
I forgot.
I don't even know. Doesn't matter.
He killed her too.
You're probably apparently after childbirth.
So, yeah, I mean, one of Thanos' thing is that once he went around and sowed his wild oats around the galaxy, then he went around and killed all the mothers and all the kids. That
because it was
as a tribute to Mistress Death.
It was him and Ego having some fun times.
So I mean,
it's like Jagger.
Honestly, I mean, if we go back, freaking 17 years before Blade, we didn't have a Marvel movie worth a damn for freaking ever until the last decade or so. So I'm really looking forward to Infinity War and see what they're what the kind of twist they're gonna put on it. I liked what Kevin Feige had to say at D23.
Yeah,
and I think it's gonna be amazing. And I think it's gonna blow your socks off the same way the first Avengers movie did.
I mean, I am very very excited for Infinity War, but I don't like these characters. Most of the time, I'm like, whatever, we'll figure it out.
They're cannon fodder.
I could do whatever.
I mean, they're gonna kill them off. I mean, they're nobodies. Sure, they sound ominous, but in the long run, they're nobodies in the Marvel Universe.
They're distracting from Thanos. We're just not going to get a lot of Thanos in this movie. I'm just getting used to this idea. Thanos won't be in until the fourth movie. Like, he'll show up for 5 minutes, and these guys...
Oh, you mean the second half?
These guys will be the villains of the movie.
I'm sure we'll get more than 5 minutes, but not a lot more.
Yeah,
I think Thanos learned his lesson with Ronan, and he's going to go after the stones himself.
Well, that's what he says.
Knows.
Yeah.
So he knows.
What are these guys doing here?
They're cannon fodder. They're going to fight, and he's going to go in there and get it.
I don't want to see Doctor Strange and the Guardians fight fucking Proxima Midnight. I want them to fight Thanos.
Yeah, but Thanos in the storyline when he was collecting all the Infinity Gems, he had to go after all the freaking Elders of the Universe. We don't have the Elders of the Universe established. We have the Collector, and that's it.
No, so, we're going to have...
we're going to have Grandmaster.
We're going to have Grandmaster, and we got Ego.
Okay.
We had Ego.
Ego was not an Elder.
He is in this.
He is in this. My point is, they've already diverted from the storyline. Let them finish the story, and then you can criticize.
Can they just talk to Fox and be like, hey, can we borrow Terrax, and can we borrow...
we already know we're not going to get Galactus.
Fire Lord, and can we borrow Mongol? No, what the hell's his name? What's the garbage, like, ninth fucking awful 90s guy? I'd rather have him than fucking Corvus Glaive.
Is he the one that's in
Corvus Glaive.
Is he the one with the red hair and Thanos?
Yeah, what's the... I don't know.
Champion!
No, what's the dude's name? What's the it's like it's not. I want to say Mongol, but it's not Mongol. Obviously, that's
Mongol's
DC.
the DC one.
Yeah, what the hell is his name?
Red hair?
Is it the red hair?
It's the awful. It's the awful.
Airwalker?
No, Airwalker would be cool. I like Airwalker a lot.
We're not going to get any heralds.
We're
not going to get Silver Surfer. We're not going to get Galactus.
No, just the other. Just Terrax. Nobody cares about Terrax. Just take Terrax and take Airwalker, take Firelord, and get rid of fucking Ebony Maw. Jesus Christ. These seem like live journal account names or something. Fucking the worst. I hate these characters so much. That said, I'm excited for Avengers Infinity War. Okay, look, remember how I say I hate when they kill characters, when they kill villains in movies? Kill them all and I'll be happy, okay? Like, if they are all dead at the end of the movie, fine.
I'm telling you, they're going to die.
Oh, God.
They're going to die.
Oh, God.
They're going to die gloriously.
Oh, I
and
hope
we're going
so.
to be sitting there with him, and he's going to be cheering every time a fucking villain dies.
I just want to see fucking Ebony Moss slip on a banana peel and kill himself. Like, that's just fucking the most embarrassing death. Just, like, the worst.
Hey, just hope they don't bring the Chitauri back, okay?
They're pretty bad, too, but at least they're not, like, 3 years old.
Are we going to get Captain Marvel in this?
No. I don't think... No, Captain Marvel's not appearing... Her movie's after... her movie before... No, her movie's after. They're already done filming this. Yeah, they haven't even started Captain Marvel. So, yeah, Captain Marvel's way after. It's Thor, Black Panther, and then Avengers, right?
Yeah.
As long as you don't count
is Ant-Man Wasp?
Deadpool 2 comes out next year also.
No, we're talking about
No.
Just Marvel
but
MCU.
Yeah.
Ant-Man and Wasp is July. It's after.
Yeah, it's after.
Yeah, but what's between 3 and 4?
Ant-Man Wasp and Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel.
So you might get an establishing shot.
Yeah.
When are we getting Guardians 3?
There's no slate.
Yeah, I don't think that's on the list yet. I mean, it's going to happen, obviously, but yeah, I don't think they have a list.
More jokes, please.
Oh, fuck. I got some jokes
They need more cannon fodder characters and jokes. That's going to be Infinity War.
I can use some jokes.
Death by banana peel.
Yeah, it's going to drive Ryan fucking nuts.
I give you a bunch of jokes about Corvus Glaive. Get out of here. Sound like a League of Legends character. Stupid ass name. Okay, we ask a bunch of questions. Let's go through. Seriously, I hate these characters so much.
So should we do it?
Infinity was an okay story.
You'd be okay if Sugar Man showed up, but you have no problem with these guys.
Let's not go there. Okay? Let's not go there.
We could just vote
the untimely death of Sugar Man.
Would I take Sugar Man over Ebony Maw?
Oh fuck.
At least that would mean that there was an X-Men character in it, so there's a hope.
They haven't
X-Men
made an action figure of Ebony Maw yet. Okay, but I have a Sugar Man on my shelf, so.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be an Ebony Maw.
I did see statues being made though.
Disney.
I did see proto statues of those characters.
Yeah, that's how.
So you're going to have those in your glass case in your new store.
Not my glass case. In my garbage can, maybe. Let's talk about some of these characters. Let's talk about some of these questions.
So before we get to questions,
yeah.
I think that this whole thing is bringing up the fact that we'll have to do a special episode of characters that we fucking hate.
Oh,
that we want them to die.
It is just
up banana peel.
It's a totally out of nowhere hate for these. I don't know why I hate these characters so much. You know where it all starts. What's that other character? What's that other character from Hickman's Avengers run that I think is maybe the worst character?
The Yellow God?
Yeah, what is his name?
Guy?
With the fucking horns.
Oh.
Because these guys are all connected to that dude, right? Like, is this all from the same stories? What is that guy? He is the absolute worst character.
Wait. Is that the one that the character they just did a Build-A-Figure of? A freaking...
I don't know. I hate...
I think the one that was all about evolution and...
Absolute worst character created that isn't named Gwenpool that was created in the last decade. Okay, I hate that guy the most, and then Gwenpool. I hate Gwenpool, and then him, and then fucking Black Order. That's my list. That's
Sugar
my list.
Man never made the list.
Over 10 years. Sugar Man's over 10 years. So the Hickman Avengers, fine. We'll find it. I hate it so much. It's even like the very first
volume
issue.
1.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. Let's ask some questions.
All right.
Our good friend Grumble Bumble on Twitter, I love that name, says, what's your opinion of the soft X-Men reboot 4 months in? So I think he's talking about the Legacy books that just got solicited today.
I thought he was talking about the X-Men Gold and Blue. And,
yeah, I was assuming the Gold and Blue.
No.
What's the Weapon X? Yeah, the Weapon X and those.
Oh, maybe I misunderstood. I thought he was asking because they're doing the Mojoverse thing as part of Legacy, and they're legacying the X-Men books.
I don't think those.
That was in the solicitations that hit today.
Yeah, but why would he say 4 months in?
Yeah, 4 months.
Because it's like 4 months in.
No.
Well, anyway,
we're 4 months into these books.
Yeah, if he's asking about that, okay, maybe I totally misunderstood the question. Well, if he's asking about what the current X-Men books are, they're okay.
Gold is better than blue.
Gold is
Gold is better than blue, but I like the Jimmy Hudson in the blue.
Gold is good.
I wish they would do something more with him.
Yeah.
I will see if I read blue for another month.
I'm still reading Weapon X.
Ex Nihilo? Yeah. Ex Nihilo? Yeah, I hate that dude the most. So
Sorry about the question answer.
Because of the move, I have been just brutally busy here at work, so I haven't read a comic.
I think they made an action figure
here like the last month. But most of them are still pretty good. I really liked the Weapon X book.
I tell you what, I just jumped on. I love the Old Man Logan now. They brought back.
You brought Maestro.
They brought back. No, that's not Maestro, but it looks like Maestro.
No, it's Maestro.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's Maestro.
Yeah.
No, I mean I've been reading him, and I like Gold. Blue can suck a ninja's dick.
Dude, oh my god, Blue got like the absolute worst art I've seen. Well, I shouldn't say that. They've had some really bad art in Marvel. The last couple issues of Blue has a terrible art.
Weapon X has been good. Old Man Logan's good.
Yeah. Iceman sub only, so much for that book.
I read 2 issues. I was like, that's it.
Didn't even finish the first one. Oh, Cable's been good.
Yeah.
Cable's been good.
Cable's good.
Yep.
I'm actually looking forward to Astonishing from...
Yeah, Astonishing is out this week. Charles Soule.
Yeah.
Again,
I mean,
I don't hate the Jean Grey book. Like, I don't know. I don't hate it, and I should, but I don't. It's okay.
I feel like the X-Men books right now are far superior to the X-Men books that we had prior to
But it's still not.
Look,
we're still far away
compared to the last, couple years.
Yeah.
I'm actually buying all these X-Men books again for the first time in in a couple years.
You're going to want this Blue Gold crossover that's part of Legacy because it's a the pitch is Mojo takes all the X-Men and he's like, our ratings are down. We have to do like a clip show and have like our greatest hits. So it's the X-Men versus like their greatest villains, all patrolled by Mojo. That'd be cool. So I'm really, that could be really fun. I'm really looking forward to that.
And I mean, it's not even necessarily just villains. It's story arc kind of things. It's kind of similar to Secret Wars that way, but different.
Yeah. Question from M, just M, says, what's your thoughts on Omega Men, new and old? I love the Tom King series, and I bought it because I like the old stuff. I like the concept of the Omega Men. They're DC's kind of, I don't want to, they're not terrorists, but they're...
I got into them with the Rebels series because it was kind of...
Legion, Legion, Vril Docs, Rebels, Omega Men, Dark Stars, all... I love Dark Stars. I hate the Black Order. Like, I don't know why. It's just DC. I hate that DC bias. Donna Troy's a Dark Star.
Oh
like,
my God!
Sure, I'll be down with
Ryan
that.
admits he's DC biased. No, Bryce, where the hell are you on this one?
Most people hate Dark Stars. I actually kind of like that book. But anyway, I love all the space DC stuff. So yeah.
So when King's series started, I was enjoying it. And then I fell behind, and then I'm like, I'll buy it in trade. And then it hasn't been on the trade shelf for a while.
Omega Man. You asked me about that the other week. It probably fell in one of my reorder holes.
I'm just going to keep bothering Ryan.
Remind me.
I'm so glad people ask these questions so I can be like, hey, Ryan.
Jesus says, why is Superman drawn with muscles? He would need resistance training to be that ripped if he can lift anything with no resistance. Don't think about it. It's comic book. That's all I have to say about that.
Even though I agree, I do not like his super muscular Superman.
I understand the question, but in World's Finest Elseworlds, Superman was a skinny guy, and he was still just as strong, and it just did not look right. Okay,
well, you're talking about Flashpoint, right?
No. There's a World's Finest Elseworld with Supergirl, Power Girl crossover.
In Flashpoint, he was
and he was skinny also in Flashpoint too. But the point is just. He was skinny and it just didn't look right. But he grew, according to the things, he grew into his power, so he didn't have his whole powers the whole time.
And he also can do resistance training. He's just moving, suns and stuff like that. Right.
No, my thing about a super muscular Superman has nothing to do with Superman. I don't like when he looks too big when he's Clark Kent.
Well,
like there's been a few times in the comics when it's just like,
how can you not say it's Superman? Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's just like...
well, the excuse is always that kind of corn-fed, kind country boy. He's a big country boy.
You know, if you
but there's been a couple of times when they've literally been like, he looks like he belongs in the WWE.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't like that. Yeah, it's like that. I don't like that. Jamie says
Superman wears a blue kryptonite ring, loses his powers, does his workout, and turns around, and takes it off, and gets his powers back on.
Jamie says best one-shot single issues. All right, what's your favorite one-shot single issues? Got any off the top of your head?
Oh man,
I know Brock's got a few. I know he's got Sandman.
Oh, it's not a one-shot. Damn, it's a two-parter.
Well, yeah, but I was going to try something different.
He's got Sandman 50.
Sandman 50 is always good. No, it's
the Larfleeze Christmas special.
That's a good one.
No, it would be the
the Lobo
Sandman 8. Sound of Her Wings.
Yeah.
The Lobo paramilitary Christmas special.
Oh, yeah.
That they turned into a fan film, and it's awesome.
I like a lot of the older crossover books, like the Planetary Batman crossover and JLA crossover. Those were good.
Well, I know just a few weeks ago we were talking about Batman 23, the Batman Swamp Thing team up, and that's real recent. That's a full story in 20 pages.
A lot of Elseworlds, a lot of DC Elseworlds used to be single one shot. Speeding Bullets was really good. That pulled me into the Elseworlds. That was Superman growing up as Batman, and it was really, really good.
The Dini detective run that was primarily
mostly one shots, a
couple of two shots stories in there. All those were really good.
Yeah.
Wow, we went to a lot of DC and we didn't hardly mention any Marvel one shots.
Marvel doesn't.
Punisher kills the Marvel universe.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah.
I feel like Marvel.
It was a miniseries.
No.
No, it was a one shot.
It was a one shot.
The original one was a one shot.
Yeah. The original was a one shot.
I liked a lot of the end books when they were putting those out. Some of them were miniseries, some of them were one shot.
Yeah, the end. Yeah. The Hulk, the end. Wolverine, the end was a miniseries. That doesn't count, so we can't go with that one.
I feel like Marvel doesn't do quite as many one shots.
They used to.
The what ifs are all technically one shots if you want to go with any of the what ifs. But DC has a lot more prestige format books and like one shot graphic novels. Marvel did a bunch of them in like the late 80s, early 90s, but DC did
can't
way
remember
more
them.
of them.
I mean, I collected them, I'm sure, but I just can't. I can't pull off all the. I mean,
they're like all the Marvel
Hulk and Hulk Future Imperfect.
That's
a two-parter.
And they had all the graphic novels. They had all the one-shot graphic novels.
Death
of Captain Marvel and New Mutants and God.
Oh yeah, first appearance of New Mutants was a New Mutants graphic novel for a one shot. Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to go back, most comics used to be a one and done story.
Yeah, DC and Marvel.
Yeah.
Let's see. Comic Boom says, my friends and I enjoy DC Bombshells. I know Brock reads that. It's a World War II era, sexy yet with modern day political correctness, feminism, bi, lesbian, and straight characters. In many ways, would appear to be social justice warrior, SJW, yet avoids the negative stigma that many Marvel titles suffer from. My question is, why do you think that is? What is DC doing different that Marvel is not on such titles? Well, it's not one of the regular titles. Like, if Bombshells was in, like, the Rebirth world, there would be maybe a little bit more blowback to that book. It's because it's a special miniseries. It's its own.
It's a digital first, and then it comes out in print.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's written by Margaret.
Bennett.
Bennett.
Yep.
And the thing is like,
Bennett, right?
I can't remember her last name.
Yeah, Margaret Bennett. Yeah, Marguerite Bennett.
Marguerite Bennett. I like her animosity. The Aftershock book that she does. Her DC Bombshells book, I don't like it overly too much. It's not. It has a lot of the stuff in it, but it doesn't feel like it's.
Well, let's get a little back up here, because the Bombshell title, when it launched, it was based off a series of art prints that were done as women and some men, done in a very like World War II side of a pinup, side of like a fighter jet.
Of the pinups going to the statues, and then went from that to the digital series.
So they had this real successful line of that, and then covers, and then they said, let's make a comic out of it. So you're kind of coming at this from like, well, how can we, make a story out of this? Yeah. So it's really up to what the writer can do. It has its audience. It doesn't sell a lot, but I think it sells enough to be a sideline title for DC. But there's no controversy behind it, because it's not a regular book. And this goes back to what I said about Marvel. No one would care about Squirrel Girl, Mosaic, and Wasp, and any of these books existing if Incredible Hulk and Wolverine and Iron Man and Thor were all out, right? I mean, again, this always goes back to what I was saying. I don't care, and I think most people don't, despite what people say online. People actually like it when characters get changed up, things are different, but not when everything is at the same time.
Yep.
If 90% of the Marvel Universe was recognizable, nobody cares if they experiment on that 10%. And I love it when Marvel and DC do this because you get such good books in that 10% that hit such a different audience. Stuff like Starman never sold well. Stuff like Hitman never sold well, but it got such a following. Sandman sold very well for a while, but it became its own thing because it was outside of the core universe.
Right.
Marvel, their mistake was replacing their regular titles with this. So not only are people, they don't have the books they want, they're also, these are the books that are being taken over.
Yep.
And they're taken over by these titles. So it's, Bombshells is not replacing the Flash comic.
Well, it's not replacing Harley. It's not replacing Batgirl.
No, but I mean, in the case of this, it was the Wasp comic is like replacing Wolverine. It's like these are it's like you take these titles and you have the characters that aren't there and the characters that are there. If DC's like, yeah, we're going to cancel Superman and Batman and Flash and Justice League, and we're going to put out,
Elongated Man,
Doomed. Oh, I'd buy that. I don't know, a Bumblebee comic.
What random characters can we come up with right now? Blue
Pick
Devil
from Six Pack,
Blue Devil, Elongated Man, Plastic Man, Red Tornado.
I love how he's
again. I'd buy all of these. No, you have to think about what
I'd buy him too. That's why I'm talking about.
The Marvel press would be like, okay, we're gonna have Batwing, we're gonna have Bumblebee, we're gonna have like an El Dorado comic, and we're gonna have.
It'd be like
something random.
Steel.
It'd be like a.
There should be a Steel comic. I would
be like Deathstroke's Defiance team taking over the Teen Titans.
Yeah, sure. And it's like, again, it's not that these can't be good stories. They can be, but it's like you can have both. When a character replaces another character in the publishing schedule, that is the problem.
You don't have to remove your pillars in order just to build a new house, okay? No. You can keep the pillars. You can keep your X-Men, your Fantastic Four, your core Avengers, in there. And then you can have your, like we talked about dozens of times, you bring in your experimental titles, 15 to 20%, and keep on trying, and if they don't work, hey, they're miniseries. They're 6 issues, they're done. 12 issues, they're done.
Yeah,
so. I miss starting with miniseries. I loved when they used to do like, hey, we're going to do a 6-issue miniseries, and if it does well, we will launch an ongoing title.
Yep. Yep. That's how they used to do it. Yeah.
So I had a question here about the new Doctor Strange that's got announced as part of Rebirth. Let's see.
You mean Legacy?
Or Legacy. I just kind of keep saying Rebirth. That's fine. Donnie Coates, who's the writer of God Country, is going to be taking over Doctor Strange ongoing. And the first arc is about Loki becoming Sorcerer Supreme. And,
oh, God.
And, hey, for the love of fucking God, Windows 10, you don't fucking restart in the middle of this podcast. Okay, that's fine.
Jesus,
we'll do this later.
You want to murder Windows.
Windows 10 always wants to update while I'm in the middle of doing something, and it's like, oh, just hard reset. Sorry. Anyway, I got some kind of blowback from some guy about this when I was talking on Twitter. My comment about this Doctor Strange news, Donny Coates is fine. I haven't read a lot by him, so I have no comment on his writing quality.
Kid Loki still a kid?
No, he's regular.
He's
Loki,
regular.
But the whole idea of Legacy was that they're bringing back, at least in theory, some version of the classic character. You have Legacy for Doctor Strange, and he's no longer Sorcerer Supreme, and Loki's now what? This is not.
Here's what bothers me about this announcement. Just like with the whole Hydra Cap initial announcement, my initial reaction to this is that could be cool for an arc. For 6 issues, that could be cool. The whole Doctor Strange getting his title and power back from Loki as the first 6-issue arc of the book would be good with me.
Of course. My problem is, though, it's part of Legacy. It's their launch of these characters supposed to be more classic. So I guess maybe the whole arc is he's back to normal at the end. But it's why don't you just have a like him just being Doctor Strange. Like, it's weird that you would start this legacy arc with him not being the character.
Well, the thing is we've had him doing, in Aaron's run, we've had him doing so well. Doctor Strange has been back in his capacity as Doctor Strange for the past few years. And now you're kind of, oh, no, let's reset it and do this and make it difficult. And like, I understand that as a story arc, but when you're doing it right in the middle of something that's supposed to be, hey, we're going back to what people like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, but this entire legacy thing and Generations hasn't made a whole lot of sense for Marvel right now as it is. So this falls right in with their plan, which whatever the hell it is. So
it's the spinning wheel.
I still think if legacy is about returning the characters back to a classic, and if the first arc is the idea of sort of like, I don't mind the idea of an arc, the search for Tony Stark, as long as it means the end of that 6-issue arc, Tony Stark is back as Iron Man.
Right.
And like, I don't mind a legacy series of story arcs that's all about restoring the characters back to where they should be. And if that was sort of the sales pitch of like, each of these are going to be about restoring the characters back to the status that people recognize them most, rather than just sort of like, oh, everything's back the way it should be now. I could get behind that.
But not a legacy that takes away his powers. I mean...
Well, but what I'm saying, if the very first story, and I mean like literally 6-issue story, I don't mean it takes him 4 years to get back. But like, if the very first story is Loki's got the Sorcerer Supreme title and Stephen Strange basically goes and reclaims it and is restored back to his proper place, I'd have no problem with it. That would be a good way to start legacy, is just each character has an arc about returning back to the core, as it were.
I'm on board with you.
I hope that's the idea. Samurai Godzilla asks, are you guys excited for the Archieverse Harley Quinn crossover? Well, it's Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn and Betty and Veronica. So, yes.
Drawn by Adam Hughes.
Well, I think the covers are Adam Hughes. They're written by Paul Dini. I don't actually know who's doing the art. I should look that up.
It's okay. All that matters is it's written by Paul Dini.
Yeah, no, that I'm very excited for it. Again, DC has been killing it with these crossovers recently. Just going crazy. So many of them. They're so good. Let's see. Marco asks, does Marvel bringing in lenticular covers actually do much to bump orders?
Yes.
So... Well, yes. Marvel's doing these lenticular covers. It depends on how easy they are to get, and it depends on how good the lenticular covers are. I'm totally down with them to a degree, right? Again, during the DC books when they had the button, the demand for those issues are so strong because the story was strong, right?
It also helped that it was such a finite number,
right? The pitch for Villains Month when DC did it was the first time, right? So there was a huge demand for that. Less so for Future's End, right? A lot less so for Future's End.
And even for Villains Month, certain issues went insane.
Yeah.
And then
because of the allocations. Yeah. For Marvel doing it, again, DC's doing it for the Mr. Oz crossover, the Oz Effect, the Superman one, and again on the retailer forum, the DC forum, I was like, okay, guys, just be careful with this because it's cool you're doing this and it did well, but just you don't know what the next one's going to do.
Yeah, but if the story... So like the Oz Effect works perfectly for me because it sort of sticks with the theme. It's almost like the lenticular covers for this overall rebirth.
Yeah.
Like, it almost is a way of, they're doing lenticular covers again, therefore this is the next part of that overall rebirth story.
Right. And with Legacy, same thing, right? A lot of them are going to have, but I don't know if all of them are. And they, if the story sucks...
Well, as long as the lenticular covers aren't those horrible gifts we saw...
I think they are.
Oh, fuck that garbage.
I think they are.
Fuck that shit. That is trash.
I think. I don't know. Do not quote me on this, but I think that's the point of them.
If that's what it is, don't even fucking bother. Because most of those fucking covers are trash. The classic covers are great.
The classic covers are great, right?
But the fucking shit that they put on for the new stuff is majority of it's garbage.
Some of them are okay.
Now I'm just wondering if they're going to have like the normal cover, the classic cover, and then the lenticular.
Oh, you know they will. They'll have every fucking cover known to man.
There's so many variant covers for Legacy. it's bananas. So yes, it'll bump orders, sure, of course, because there's more stuff. We were talking about Bombshells. Gotham City Garage is a comic book based on all of the figures they've been doing about.
You know what?
The DC women and their motorcycles.
I mean, I would honestly say that a series like that, where you kind of get these one shot stories or a few issue stories of DC characters, motorcycled out or road tripped out or doing whatever, I think it would be cool.
Yeah.
They need to make a Poison Ivy motorcycle so I can finish my cassette. I don't know. The last one was Wonder Woman. They haven't announced another one.
I just find it funny on stuff like this just because normally it's the other way around. They introduce something new in the shows or comics, and that's what gets the statues and everything going. And now it's just the opposite. They're just like, let's just throw all these neat designs at the wall, and the stuff that sells will turn into comics.
What they're going to do? You know what's going to happen is for some odd reason they're going to do some steampunk style shit.
No. I won't order that.
And toys or whatever, it'll do really, really well, and then all of a sudden it's like they got this new steampunk series.
Charlie, I know you're going to have an answer for this. I know we're going to have a lot more of you talking about it on the roundup that's going to be on the Patreon feed, but let's ask the question anyway. Norman says, how does the resident Doctor Who fan, and first of all, by the way, it's DOCTOR, not DR. It's never DR. Stop calling it DR. It's DOCTOR, Doctor, spelled out. How does Insanity and Chaos Insanity and Chaos?
Okay, I got a quick question. You do realize he's fucking tweeting, so he has to shorten it anyway.
There's plenty of room here for Doctor and Doctor.
Oh my god!
How does Charlie?
I know exactly where this one's going.
How does Charlie
for this one.
feel about the new Doctor Who?
Everybody who knows me has been asking me this lately.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell us, because we haven't asked you yet.
No, I'm excited. I'm aware of the actress from Broadchurch. She's good on Broadchurch, but she is also very human on Broadchurch. So I'm super curious to see her range and stuff as she portrays the Doctor. The only thing about this,
a female now?
Yeah. The only thing that shocks me about this is the timing of it. I kind of figured they're going to do it eventually. It's a given, but I expected them to do it when they needed to get everybody's attention on Doctor Who. Meaning, I kind of considered it their ace in the hole. Their, ratings of, and don't get me wrong, because ratings are lower now than they have been previously, but it's still huge international. They still have all sorts of contracts that they've signed. I don't feel like Doctor Who is at a point where they need an ace in the hole right now. So it's kind of awesome that they're just biting the bullet and doing it now. I think doing it with the new showrunner and such will make it a very interesting transition. And I'm sure it's going to get huge numbers, at least to start with. And as long as the stories are good, everybody will keep watching.
But Charlie, she's a
backlash
girl.
Online is stupid.
I don't want a girl, my doctor. Oh. She's going to be awesome.
Yes.
Okay, Windows 10. Stop asking me. I just told you wait an hour and then you can update. Why are you updating? Why do you want to update now? Wait. Windows 10. Stop asking me. Off. You're just going to keep bothering me every 5 minutes. That means we got to go. That means we don't have time for random picks of the week. No, we have to do our random picks of the week.
Oh, no more questions.
That means I have to figure out a random pick of the week.
I still have to respond to the Facebook group post from last week.
I told you, I made up for it.
Jim,
I responded with enough.
You like so many books. What's your random pick of the week?
From the new stuff that's coming out tomorrow?
No, anything. Any comic ever published.
Anything, really?
Oh.
Anything, really?
This goes back to a topic we were talking about like an hour ago. I completely forgot one of my points during the whole conversation about the graphic novel sales versus single issue sales. I had another major point that I didn't get to.
Shit.
Huh?
This is a long time coming.
I know. I didn't get to this point. Single issue sales are all brand new comics released during calendar year. Graphic novels is anything ever in print still. So $400 million of all graphic novels ever in print available for sale. That's not that many sold, guys. I'm sorry. Every story ever that's currently available versus only the most brand new 12 issues. Sorry, guys. Graphic novels still
Charlie, Ryan's saying we got to step up our game.
Graphic novels still have a long way to go. It's not taking over the industry. Sorry, guys. Look at unit sales.
If I wouldn't have bought my graphic novels at my discount store, those prices would have been doubled because all the purchases I made are anywhere from 45 to 50% off. So,
random pick, Jim. What's your favorite new hardcover you picked up recently? What do you tell us that?
I picked up Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus number 3.
It's the Ditko.
But,
is it still
but also
Ditko
with
at that point? What does that go through? 100?
Goes through 100.
Yeah.
Goes past it. Also picked up Amazing Spider-Man by Michelin and Eric Larson. And that one I'm really enjoying because
Trip's got that, I'm sure.
And I'm really enjoying because I always enjoyed Eric Larson's work, so I'm really enjoying that run. It has Venom comes back, and it's
the post McFarlane stuff.
It's post McFarlane. It has has the 6-parter Sinister Six return crossover everything with Deathlock and Hulk and Ghost Rider.
Solo in there.
Yeah, but we don't count him.
Remember the Solo comic book?
There was a Solo comic book?
The slapstick comic book?
Yeah. But
the Mosaic comic book?
I picked up the omnibuses recently, and I actually picked up the Deadly Hands of Kung Fu omnibus. That was the magazine.
Shit, I was going to offer you a good deal on that if you hadn't ordered it already. I didn't mean to order that. I meant to get the regular one.
You got it already?
Yeah. Not for me, I mean for the store. I don't order the magazine.
Random pick for individual books. I gotta say, and you're gonna hate it, but I still do. I still love my Savage Dragon. Number 225.
I ordered all your porno covers.
Number 225 comes out next week with 4 covers. The fourth one being solicited after. And that is the X-rated one, but
is Eric Larson just like whatever? Like what's his?
You know what? I talked to him. I did talk to him for a little while. Tried talking him into coming actually on the podcast for a little while. But I know how badly you beat him up, so I knew it wasn't going to happen.
I mean, I'm not going to. No, I don't hate. There is no comic creator that's not named Mark Miller.
Finish a sentence, Brock.
You missed that. There's no comic creator that I hate.
I heard him.
There's no comic creator that I hate. I would have nothing to say to Eric Larson. I just don't follow his work. I'm not a fan of his character.
I don't hate him. I'm still
though.
a fan of Savage Dragon ever since it first came out. So
I don't hate Rob Liefeld. Dude, more power to these guys. There's stuff I don't like.
My point is they're still going. So Savage Dragon is still going. Yeah. You know, Liefeld just relaunched Youngblood again. So I'm still enjoying Savage Dragon. So 224 is really good. 225 is coming out.
And Savage Dragon is not the comic you read if you read it in the 90s.
No.
He's gone like a Cerebus, like Dave Simroot on this thing, where it's just like, we're just going to go left and just, or right, really, and just go completely away from the base concept.
Didn't he have some, like villainess or female character in there that, like, her special power was menstrual bleeding or some shit?
This sounds right, yeah.
I said, if she wasn't there, she would fit. I'll tell you, she would fit in there perfectly. Charlie, what's your random pick? What's your random hardcover? What's the most recent hardcover you purchased?
Most recent hardcover. Did I get last?
I know you buy so many, just like I do.
Well, I think the one that I picked up recently that I'm most excited to read is Tokyo Ghost. But trying to think.
That's the Remender one, right?
Yeah.
I picked up the Action Deluxe hardcover from last week.
Well, yeah, but I've already read all the stuff in there.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good. Right now, my random pick
I thought we were going through hardcover. Last hardcovers we were picking up, so I'm trying to join in at least.
No.
Can't kick me out because I'm not all.
We're not kicking you out. We're not kicking you out.
No, but I do want to say that the Wonder Woman issue past Rucka was still good. Like, I'm still enjoying that book.
26?
Yeah. That's a good random pick. Just
Ryan's desperately trying to find his pick. Oh, God.
Here we go.
So what's your random
individual
pick?
So my random non-Tonkin
Not you.
pick. Oh.
Charlie.
Because Jim had started the hardcover thing. So that's what
gave his pick.
Yeah. Well, I said the Wonder Woman would be my random comic pick.
All right.
So my random pick, while all eyes are on the Batman Elmer Fudd crossover by Tom King, which deservedly so. My second favorite of the batch, I have to talk about this. So this is a DC Looney Tunes crossover that came out last month, and you should still be able to, hopefully still be able to find this one out there. The Legion of Superhero Bugs Bunny one by Sam Humphries. Awesome. Now, it does have the worst of the backup strips.
Yes.
I don't know what the deal is. So they have the front comic, which is in the superhero style, and the backups are done in the Looney Tunes style.
Like,
right?
This is one of those exceptions where it is still completely and totally the Looney Tunes character in the, like...
Right.
They just combine the two universes in the story.
Well, the backup was just a repeat of the story you just read in Looney Tunes form. It was
So some of the backups were kind of retelling a different story of the characters meeting. I think it's is it the Lobo Roadrunner that's just a direct continuation, I believe?
Yeah. Well, it's a continuation that makes fun of what you just said.
Right. The Legion Bugs Bunny, and I'm only going to briefly talk about the backup story because I want to talk about the front story. The backup story is I guess Looney Tunes-ish. It just looks more like kind of like an old Silver Age comic. And it is an exact retelling of the story you just read, except
it's in Looney Tunes form.
Not really, though. That's the thing.
It's just heavily abridged. They just kind of...
It's like the kids' version.
It's the Cliff Notes.
It's real
the
weird.
thing is like the Lobo one. The Lobo one was hilarious because
Lobo was fantastic.
Because the backup was just, you can't say this, you can't smoke, you can't do this. It's like going over every single thing, but it's still funny, right?
Yeah. But the Legion one, again, if you're a Legion of Superheroes fan, you have to read this because it's so funny. They do some very good parodying of like the 70s Legion stuff and just a super over dramatization of the characters and just their thought balloons, just the super drama that they have, and it's so good. Bugs Bunny's pretty funny in the thing too. Sam Humphries just does a great job channeling that kind of old 60s 70s Legion, but then putting like a humorous spin on it. Really funny book. Again, if you're a Legion fan in any way, shape, or form, this is a Legion you haven't seen in a long time. You should definitely pick it up. But also get the Batman Elmer Fudd second print when it comes out next week. Brock, what's your pick?
I'm going to go with Sacred Creatures.
That's the new Image one, right?
There's a new Image one by Pablo Romandoni and Klaus Janson.
Yep.
It's $5.
$5.
But holy shit.
Yeah, it's humongous.
It's a read.
It's like Monstrous #1. It's like the same size.
It got me really, really curious to see where this story is going. And I don't know if too many people were like, well, $5, I don't know if I'm going to get that. It's really kind of, I don't even know what the whole premise is behind this by the end of issue 1, but I'm so intrigued that I want to know more. But it is for $5, this is a good read. So this is what I'm recommending. Art's great on it. It's just done really, really well. So yeah,
awesome.
We'll see. So yeah, Charlie, you can use that one and read it later.
All right, that's going to be an episode. If you're on your way to Comic-Con, hope you guys enjoy yourself. If not, go to your local comic book store and buy some stuff there. Not this one specifically, because Comic-Con weekend, a lot of people travel. Go to your store if you're not traveling. Go buy an extra book or two because stores can use the money this week. Cons are great, but they do take away money from comic book stores, so always make sure you support your LCS. And if you're local here in the Sunnyvale area, Bay Area, definitely help support us this Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 25% off. Graphic novels, comic books, statues, toys, tons of stuff. Most everything's going to be on sale. And Windows 10, for the love of God, let me get through this. Now I've just lost my fucking voice.
That was me earlier today.
Yeah. Brock's giving me his throat issues.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, pardon me. Hold on. Let's try that again.
Comic-Con is this weekend. Everybody go enjoy.
Comic sale. It's Comics Conspiracy is this weekend, too. So come here and pick up stuff.
So when do you fly out, Jim?
This is our moving
We're
sale.
going to talk on Thursday before I fly out on Friday.
This is our big moving sale. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday as well. And those sales discounts are going to get bigger. So check.
Face it, Brock, you're going to be mailing out my stuff on for next week.
Well, no, next week we're moving.
No, I'm moving.
So it'll be
okay. You'll be mailing it out this weekend or whatever.
I'll be mailing it out in like 3 weeks when we're finally like, what the fuck is this box?
No.
Oh, it's Jim shit. I got to send this stuff out. Is he in home or is he overseas? Text you, Jim, where are you? I'm overseas. This can wait another 2 weeks.
There's a box of stuff in the back. We might be yours, might be Toby's. We're going to ship it to you anyway.
So we are definitely planning. We're definitely planning to record an episode next week. If for some reason it doesn't happen, I apologize. But that is the plan, to record our final episode next week. If this is our last one here, this is a good one too. But no, we plan to record next week. We have to thank our good friends at Patreon. Julian Titus has a Nerds Without Pants podcast, and if my memory serves me correct, Julian is celebrating 5 years of not wearing pants. 5 years of
no
being
pants.
pantsless. No pants.
He wears pants.
So make sure
Toby
you check
doesn't
out.
wear pants when he's here.
Make sure you check out the Nerds Without Pants podcast at pixelbit.com. Our good friend Julian Titus. And actually,
Congrats, Julian.
What's that?
Congrats, Julian.
Yeah. Thane,
Good milestone.
Hey, he's got the Phoenix Force now.
Let's also thank our good friend Ryan Hess at Blowhards. That's the video game podcast, blowhards.libsyn.com. Blowhard?
If you have airsoft guns, try and sell them.
Nobody blowhards like Ryan Hess. What's that?
If you have airsoft guns, try and sell them like real guns at his Pawn Star.
Jody Pawn Star.
Pawn
Jody
Shop,
Lawson
sorry.
has canon the Triad Comics Anthology at triadcomicstudios.com. And all our other good friends, Monoplay, Sam Chea, Talon Bray, Craig Anderson, who's going to his very first Comic-Con, I hear, and probably his last Comic-Con. No, have fun, Craig. I hope you enjoy it. Joe Duff as well. Thank you guys all very, very much. Let's thank us. Let's thank the Comic Conspiracy Podcast at comicconspiracypodcast.com. Thank you, comicconspiracypodcast.com. You're a website that hosts our podcasts, as well as Geekbox.net and iTunes. Of course, Libsyn Symbolin actually does the real hosting. So we should really
you
thank
said
them.
red hair. You're talking about Star Fox?
No, not Star Fox. He was like a mogul, some garbage ass replacement.
Okay, keep going.
From the 90s. He had a terrible name. It sounded like garbage.
Okay.
What is his name? Go look up your list of heralds.
I'm going through it in my head right now.
Yeah.
Morg?
Yes, Morg.
He didn't have red hair.
I didn't say anything about red hair.
I thought you said he had red
No,
hair.
I asked if he had red hair.
I don't know who that doofus
No, I had
is.
Morg a long time ago.
Yeah, Morg.
I'll
take Morg over freaking
Terax has Morg's axe now.
Corpius Glaive or whatever the hell his name is. Rate and review us on iTunes. The Comic
You need
Conspiracy.
to read some of those on air because
all the negative ones. The Comic Conspiracy at geekbox.net or the contact forums where you can send us some long form questions. Patreon.com/comicconspiracy is where you can go to donate a buck or two to us.
You know, the biggest complaint is that Ryan reads stats for the store stats on the podcast.
Read our store stats.
Another way to support us during this move is to buy your comics digitally.
Yes, at digital.comicsconspiracy.biz.
So if something's on sale or you're like wanting to get something, get it now.
Yeah. Brock has conspiratorBrock.com. That's his blog and video pull list. Charlie has Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension. That's his Doctor Who podcast where they talk all sorts about the new Doctor Who, and as well as on the Roundup. It's going up on Patreon tonight.
We recorded it before they made the announcement for the roundup. So nothing about it on the
current one.
I think we talked briefly about the rumors on the roundup, but we didn't talk any reactions.
Etsy.com/shop/Leanne Hill Art. That's Leanne's, I almost said blog and video pull list. That's Leanne's Etsy store. What is your store, Jim?
I got an eBay store, Zombie Comics.
You sell all your garbage on there? I
sell everything that I buy from you. No, no, I sell collectibles. I do sell collectibles on there. Prints, no comics, prints, statues, everything else, props, stuff
Zombie
like that.
Comics, all normal spelling?
Zombie Comics, yep.
All right.
With an X. Comics with an X.
So not normal spelling.
Yeah.
We're all on Twitter. Ryan Higgins, Ryan. That's me. Brock is Brock Sager. Bryce, I think is going to be on next week, is Larson Bryce. Toby is Toby XI. He's down at Comic-Con. If you see him, say hello. Charlie's Insanity and Chaos. The store is Comics-Con store. Jim is LD Exterminator. There you go. Don't forget to listen to the Geekbox Comedy Button, Good Job Brain, All Talk Podcast, and Manga Machinations. Bunch of podcasts on our little network. we'll get to...
you have a couple more days to get your Bryce is Right t-shirt.
Yep, just a few more days left.
Stay tuned for Comics Conspiracy t-shirts.
Yep.
Keep the pictures coming of your Bryce is Right, you wearing your Bryce is Right t-shirts.
You could do that if you like.
I love seeing those. That's great. Leanne did yours. That was awesome.
That's not mine. That's hers.
I know, but she posted it.
Yeah.
Your wife got a Bryce is Right shirt.
I know.
That's the best.
I know.
That is pretty funny.
Shake my head. She wants a Ryan is Wrong shirt, too, so...
Oh, that could have been
because that's going to happen. All right. Thank you guys all very
Ryan's
much.
Quotes. I fucking hate that corporate
Stupid
bullshit.
Stupid ass thing. We'll catch you guys next week.